you had to do it sort of thing, you know. It was a job, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nobody took any notice whether it smelled or not. I don't think so anyway.
And how many hours a day did you work?
Oh, that was quite, we were there 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
By 8 o'clock. And sometimes we worked till about 7.
Wow.
In the evening, on the second half. But it was an all-day job. I used to go down to my mother-in-law sometimes to dinner, but there was we had a centre round in the school round the corner, Gallywall Road School, and we used to go round there to dinner.
All right. Was that provided by the company? They have like a canteen?
No. You pay for your own dinner because they had a canteen there, but the dinners round the rest centre sometimes were better than the canteens.
Really?
So you had your choice.
Yeah.
And I think it only cost about a shilling or 1 and twopence or so for your dinner.
Oh, at the rest centre?
At the rest centre.
And what about the canteen at your place of work? Was that free?
I suppose it was the same really.
All right.
But they serve fish and chips up there, you know, in the canteen and things like that. But no, we used to go. I think it was a bit cheap around the rest centre.
Yeah. Okay.
It was very favourite, I think, with a lot of workers around there.
Really?
They should do really lots of dinners around there.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And then was there anything like health and safety?
Oh no.
So were there lots of like workplace injuries then?
What place for?
Were there workplace injuries? Did people get hurt at work? Did they hurt themselves or?
Well, I suppose they did, but I don't know. I never came across anybody that hurt themselves.
All right. Yeah. So even the glue, you know, I would imagine people would get burnt with a hot glue.
Well, you take a chance like that, don't you, when you take the job on? They wouldn't put you in a job like that for, not children wouldn't do it, would they? I mean, grown-up ladies and ladies do it, but when the war finished, they reverted back to making bags.
Okay. And
sweets. They did a thing for sweets there as well, and they also did Japanese banknotes. What? And you was caged in for that, and they used to they're big packs of about the banknotes, and they said women in the benches sort of thing, and they said, look at all through these notes, see if there's any flaws on that with them. If there was no, it was okay. The big packs they were, and they used to pass them down to me, where I was the chief. I don't know what you call it, but I was the chief one, the last one to be had these notes, and they give you a big tea chest, and I used to have to pack them in this big tea chest, then send them to be sign the thing that what was in there, send them to another girl. They used to be soldering all the way around these tea chests with all these banknotes in, and I had to sign as chief security officer. I was, and I got half-crown extra for that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you were basically...
That was for Delarose. The city they worked for.
Wow.
They had a contract with Delarose.
To make Japanese currency?
Yeah, Delarose sent the currency over, but we had to sort them out, you know, and make sure that they were all in order.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know what they were going to do with them, whether they were going to send them to Japan or whether it was a gimmick whereby they were going to let all these notes down onto the people, you know. I don't know, I just couldn't make out, because we were at war with the Japanese at the time.
Yeah.
So although the war finished with Europe.
Yeah.
It wasn't finished in Japan till later in August.
Mm.
So therefore, whether it was something to do with, I don't know, advertising or to the people of Japan,
Mm.
that there's money for, that kind of thing, I don't know.
Wow.
But it was certainly interesting.
Yeah, it sounds mysterious.
Mm. Yeah.
And what did you wear to work in those days?
Just your own overalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wore a pinafore overall or something,
Mm.
you know.
So you didn't have uniforms in any of the jobs you
No.
did?
No uniforms.
And did work affect your home life in any way? I know you said, your husband, when he came on leave, he didn't want you at work, he wanted you at home with the baby. But other than that, did work affect your home life in any way?
Well, only when he came out of the army, when he was demobbed, it was, I was working at, he came out and he got a job in Dulce's shoe factory, and I was working at an engineering firm on a lathe.
Where was this?
On the lathe, Durance's, down Great Dover Street.
Okay.
I worked there, Durance's. Of course, he used to have to come by there to go home.
Okay.
So, it was, he used to wait for me there to come out of work, and we used to go home together, sort of thing, you know. He didn't want me working there, no.
Why didn't you?
An engineering firm's a men's job on the lathe.
Yeah.
So, no, he said he didn't like that. So, I thought I said, well, I'll find another job. So, my sister worked at, she was a telephonist, and she worked for the ministry, Ministry of, what was it, Foreign Ministry or some ministry of, anyway, of Whitehall. So she said to me, why didn't you get a job as a telephone operator? So I said, well, that's an idea. So I went up to York Road and got the interview, had a job, yes, you'll be suitable. We want to put you on to directory inquiries. I thought it was a start in Gray's Inn Road. So anyway, I went to work at for the post office, and I went to Gray's Inn Road, done the work of finding numbers all the time, you know, but I thought to myself, well, I don't know, I'd like to see something different. I'd like to get to Bermondsey Exchange. So I decided to ask for a transfer over to Bishopsgate, whereby you did 8 weeks training there to be a telephonist, the one that goes on the board, you know, not just Dutch inquiries, one you plug in, take everybody's call from the call boxes. And so I'd done 8 weeks there, and then they sent you out to different exchanges, Royal, Waterloo and all them, whereby you experience, you know. Then I decided I was at Bishopsgate for quite a while, working there, and I asked to come to Bermondsey. So I got transferred to Bermondsey, and I worked on the switchboard there, like taking people's calls from the call boxes, like everybody else. And we used to have afternoons out where the supervisors used to say, pick you and you can go out call box testing, sort of thing. And we used to go around to all the call boxes, what we used to take calls from, and see if they were broken, or see if anybody had pitched the money out of them. And we used to have to report it to the engineers, like, you know.
Yeah, that's good. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. But we were lucky to get on one of them calls, you know.
No, that's
But
good.
it was good.
And did you do that for long?
Yeah, quite a long time. I didn't leave there until I had my chem. Because in between, coming from when my husband left the Dulces, his father had a coal business, does have a coal business, so he went with his father to, because he could drive the lorries, he was a driver, and he used to do the coal business. But he wanted somebody to help him out, like to do the, take the orders and things. So of course I got roped in, and round Dockley Road it was, and we was, while he was out delivering to the registered customers, I was selling coal in the shed to people that come round for their quarters and halves until they got their ration. You see, so that's where I landed up until my Ken was born in 49. So Billy was born, my first one born was in 40, the next one was in 49. And so in between that I was working around the coal shed with the people round there. They used to be lining up at 10 o'clock in the morning. I was going to go round, and there was all outside the shed waiting for somebody to come round and serve them coal.
Yeah, because that's how they got their heating, wasn't it? That's how they got their heating, wasn't it? The coal.
Well,
they used the coal to heat up their home, or what?
Yes, we had all coal fires. There was no central heating then. It was all coal fires. So it was, with me, it was, I used to take him to school after that. It was in 1953, 54, that the coal rationing was still on. And people used to line up outside that shed. So I used to take the little one to school, about to school round Grange Road, go to the butcher's, get me meat, go to get me veg and the papers, take me washing in the they had the baths up there, Bermondsey baths. That was good, that was. They used to weigh your washing and put it in the machine, like, you know, and time I got me shopping, I could go in, the washing would be done. So you put it, their dryers, pull them out, and put all your washing on there and dry it. You fold it up or mangle it, mangles, you know, fingers, and fetch it home, and it was all done. And then, and then I had to put the dinner on a very low glimmer. I could make a stew or salad casserole and put it on a low glimmer. Go round the shed by about 10 o'clock, so that serve the people, come out, go up to Boucher School, get the little one home from school, give him his dinner, take him back to school, go back to the shed at 2 o'clock. My God, it was one hectic life, you know. But
well, you did it without batting an eyelid, it sounds like.
Well, you had to do it to help out, didn't you?
Yeah. But were you still working at the Bermondsey Exchange during that time then?
No, Bermondsey Exchange, I left it when my Ken was born. Yeah, in 49. But in the meantime, you see, when I was going around the shed doing these things, because I had Billy as well, you see.
The first one.
My other boy.
He was about 10 then.
He was about 14, I think, and he was come around the shed and go and get me errands for me, you know.
Were you paid all this while, the work you did around the shed?
No. Do it for love, don't you? I mean, he was out, he used to go to King's Cross, pick up a load of about 4 ton of coal, and fetch it back, dump it in the shed, go back up there again. He used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
But your husband was paid for that job though, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he had to, so you made a living from
get to another load of coal and go round to the registered customers. And so that way we both survived.
Yeah. So did they not miss your income when you stopped working? Because, you know, there was a time you were working and your husband was working, but then when you had your Ken, you stopped working, did you not miss your money coming in? How was life when you stopped working? Was it harder when you stopped working, or was it okay? Do you see what I mean?
No, well, by that time, the central heater had come in.
Ah.
All the flats were being built,
Yeah, okay.
and people didn't want coal.
Ah.
They were putting central heating in the flats, weren't they?
Yeah.
So, of course, the business went down,
Yeah.
so we bought a shop.
Ah.
We bought a shop when...
Where?
That was... I had my little girl, she was about 2, and that was in 1960.
Okay.
She was born.
You had them quite spaced out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Really, Ken, and what was your girl's name?
Sheila. She was, born in 1960.
Yes,
Well, I was expecting Raymond 2 years later.
wow.
I was expecting him. And, of course, he bought the shop
Okay.
across the road in Lindsay Street.
Okay.
And it was a sweet shop.
Oh, very nice.
So, of course, I got roped in again, didn't I?
Oh, I don't know, all this unpaid work that you do.
2 little ones. She was 2 and he was a baby.
Yeah.
And I was feeding him, sort of thing, you know. I fed all my children.
Oh.
And my poor. And I've got somebody lived around Camilla Road. She used to come and help me in the shop.
Good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But my husband used to get up, do all the papers. We had paper boys in the morning.
Yeah.
And paper boys at evening.
Yeah.
And I used to have to run the shop during the day.
Oh.
And the children from the Gallywalls, from the school, down at Elmer School, they used to come with their pennies and halfpennies. We had a children's corner.
Yeah.
They sold them sweets.
Oh.
And when the Beatles came along, they used to come round the shop, didn't they? Because I had to order loads and loads of boxes of Beatles cards.
Oh.
They loved the Beatles cards and a jubbly, you know. But because they only lived, our shop wasn't far from the school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the mothers used to come along with their kids, and they used to come and get their 3 for sweets.
It sounds like you enjoyed running the shop.
Well, it was hard work.
I would imagine, yeah.
The only respite I got was on Sundays.
Wow.
We closed, we were open until mostly at 7 o'clock.
Wow.
And then it was Sundays, half a day.
Wow. What time did you open in the morning?
Early, about 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I would imagine. And you closed at 7 p.m.
Well, he was marking up the papers when the paper boys used to come in, didn't they?
Yeah.
To deliver the papers.
Yeah.
But the same in the evening, you know.
Yeah.
But
how long did you run this sweet shop for?
7 years.
Good.
It was before we had this house.
Okay.
It was, the central heating came on so much that we had to patch up the coal anyway, because we weren't doing any business with the coal.
Yeah.
So that's why I bought the shop for himself. But he was still doing a little bit of coal, but not to that extent.
Yeah.
And he gave it up in the finish, but it was... we used to take the children swimming and that after 7 o'clock, you know.
Oh, wow.
And
you did it all.
during the summer, he got contract work with our whites, do a bit of contract work. Yeah. And I was still running the shop, of course, and during the summer. And then it was had to do the. We decided to take Kenny. That was my 2 little ones. We took them to. Before that, we'd taken Kenny abroad with us, and during the summer.
Oh.
And when the coal was running down a bit, you know, and just doing a bit of contract work, so we took Kenny over. Travelled all the way, camping, all the way over Europe,
down
to Assis. So when the other 2 came along, they were sort of 2 years big difference
Yeah.
between them,
Yeah.
60 and 62.
Yeah.
We took them over to, because we'd moved after that
Yeah.
into here.
Okay.
So when we moved into here, they were about, I think he was about 10, 13,
Mm.
you know, they were at school. So we took them two over to abroad
Oh, that's nice.
so that they could see what we'd already seen
Seeing, yeah.
and showed them.
Yeah.
And now my youngest son,
Yeah.
he took his children over to exactly the same places that I took them.
Oh, that's
Over
nice.
to,
What, camping in Europe?
They didn't go camping, they went to hotels.
Imagine.
Oh, they...
It's not the same, is it?
No,
You
they
need
were...
to camp, you need to, you know,
oh, camping
get the
was...
proper experience.
It was great, it was, you know.
Oh.
I used to like camping.
Oh, that's nice. I like camping actually.
Yeah.
It sounds like you were pretty comfortable at this time. You had the shop, you had your house, you were going on holiday abroad. That sounds all very, you know, affluent to me.
Well, yeah, well, while he was doing the contracting work, so
Yeah.
I was doing the, well, I had to get the, do the cigarettes sort of thing, when the reps came in, order all the cigarettes. Order in January, you're ordering fireworks,
Wow.
ready for November.
Wow.
Also, you were ordering annuals for the people. They should pay sort of so much a week. Some women, they pay so much a week, and by the time the Christmas came, their annuals were paid for. I used to order them sort of in June. I used to order the annuals, and there was all that to it. You know, there was quite a lot of work there to do, and then ordering all the sweets. Different bottles of jars of sweets, you know, and boxes of chocolates.
So when you took a break in the summer and you go on holiday, would you close the shop during that time?
Oh, my sister-in-law came down over, and my son, of course, he was the oldest one. He was taking the two little ones out for what's name. They thought that was his father. He used to take them out in the car.
Yeah, because there's a big gap between them, the first two and the last two.
Yeah, well, he's 72 now.
Oh, wow.
And the two little ones are now 50 and 52.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice.
So,
and how did you spend your wages at that time? By the time you had the shop, and I mean, from what you're saying, it sounds like you were just...
No, he went to work on the post office after that. He was a driver on the post office. But, of course, he got...
What were the bills like at that time? So what were your... So let's say, you know, the money you were making from your husband's income, was it like, was this rented?
It went down. It went down, yeah, definitely.
So what did you spend your income on at that time? Just trying to see how it's different from today. Did you have like phone bills? You didn't have mobile phones at that time.
We had bills
you have your
to
rent,
pay.
the rent for the house, you know.
Well, we used to share our money anyway, share money, and we never had any sort of children's benefits or nothing like that. No, he just had his work money coming in, that's all. And when they were on strike for about, on strike for quite a long time in the post office, and they didn't pay them either. They had nothing coming in. And what we'd saved by having the shop, we were dipping into that. And my sister-in-law, she's fetched us in a load of vegetables. But no, we sufficed. But of course, he died in '74 when the two youngsters was 11 and 13. So he never saw them really go out to work. But
sorry about that. He was missing
the eldest one, we got. He went to apprentice in the print, and then when while he was at work, and then when Kenny, he went to work. He was a teacher. He went to university, and then he went to teaching in Buckinghamshire. He got married. They're both students.